All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. It is interview time, and we got the man, the myth, the legend, right here, right now. We got Dubb live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. What's happening?
Oh, man, doing pretty good, bro. Doing pretty good. I hope all is well with yourself out there in California, man. You know what I mean? I gotta say, man, I'm kind of jealous you got some palm trees and some sunny weather, man. Down here, we just got flooded with some snow.
Yeah, man. It's California, man. That's why everybody wants to be here. I mean, it's been a little cold, but it's been a little cold according to California standards. But it's looking good right now.
And I gotta ask, man, I know you're probably like just sick of hearing about COVID, but I want to ask, man, how's the COVID situation out on the West Coast right now, man? Like, do you guys have like restrictions you have to follow?
Yeah, well, we did for quite some time, man. We had no eating inside deal. We had the mask mandatory everywhere. We had the curfew, lockdown, where everybody was supposed to be, indoors by a certain time, and then they kind of lifted that. It's just now getting back to where you can eat outdoors again at certain places. And things are starting to, you see business and commerce starting to pick up. People starting moving around a little bit. So we're getting back to whatever the new normal's going to be for sure.
Hey, man, that's good. And then hopefully soon, dope artists like yourselves, man, can actually get back to doing concerts as well.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to getting out there and getting on stages and networking and politicking with my cohorts, man. And that's one of the beauties of doing music is getting out there and rocking and seeing the energy of the crowd and, fellowshipping with your comrades, man. You know what I mean? That's something I definitely miss.
But I gotta ask you there, Don, like taking you back to the beginning of your musical career, man, like what actually inspired and sparked the amazing career of Dubb?
Man, you know what? I've always was into music. The thing that kind of sparked me, man, was growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in, seeing the guys that came before me do it at the level that they did it at. They inspired me to want to communicate in an artistic format and the vibe that they put out from the Ruthless Records to the Death Rows to all kind of independent record labels and groups. It was just always some music going on, always some talent in the city of Compton, and it just is very, very inspiring.
And also, man, I also read that you were actually the CEO of CAMG. I was wondering, man, can you tell us a bit more about that? And of course, like, what services do you offer to the general public?
Man, so being the CEO of CAMG, which stands for Christian Alliance Music Group, it's an independent record label, man, that, in 2010 I decided to start because I felt like there was no alternative music like hardcore hip-hop, but with a positive message, an uplifting message, a message about, belief and faith and persevering through your struggles. So I developed that to allow other dope artists to come to the platform. Services that we offer, the distribution, marketing, promotion, also management. I do a little A&R where I can put artists with artists to give them a better platform to be seen. We also do shows and put stuff together for events and manage touring and all kind of good stuff. We got studio services, mixing, mastering, recording on a platinum level.
And when you actually said Christian, like, if you don't mind me asking, like, what actually, like, sparked you to get into the Christian side of the music industry? Like, were you always, like, that genre of music, or lately did you kind of switch a little bit after your career progressed?
Yeah, I had a tug on my heart, you know what I'm saying? I'm a believer, man. I had a tug on my heart. Went through some rough times in life and just battling, trying to keep myself together and God kind of just revealed himself to me and showed me what I was supposed to do. I had all this musical talent and ability, but, I wasn't necessarily using it in that genre or that format. And so I just was really, really, as a new believer, I was really eager to do something in that manner, but to keep it street as well. I wanted to communicate to people that people forgot about, that people read off, and that people felt like weren't no good. I wanted to communicate to those people and show the world that those people that still should be valued as human beings and still should be respected as people. Everybody deserves a chance of redemption and correction and lessons. And the world just has a way of writing people off once they make a mistake.
And also, man, I want to take you back to 2014, man, where you actually dropped the album Jesus Lives on the West Coast. I was wondering, what's the story behind that phenomenal record? And of course, where can our listeners actually buy or stream themselves a copy today? Because I gotta say, that's such a phenomenal album name.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I really do. That album, man, that was one of my first compilation albums in Christian hip hop. I wanted to do something that celebrated all the different facets and talents and voices that I was connected to in Christian hip hop, and as I found dope artists like Gil Gadsby and Omega 7 and my man Full Grown and just different cats, Joe Hunt. I just felt like I needed to produce a full album and kind of put them on different records. And so I did that. And, that album it had a really huge impact in the area, and it was really dope, man.
And I gotta ask, because I know the record's obviously a little bit older now, but do you have any hard copies available, like online, or that way our listeners, if they really do want a CD copy, they can hit you up for one?
Oh man, I can get, if you guys DM me, hit me up. I don't have, there's no hard copies online. It's available on all digital platforms though. You can go stream it everywhere, but to get a copy, you got to come directly to the source, man, and I can get it to you. Ship that thing directly on out to you.
And also, man, you actually dropped an EP by the name of G Status and was actually produced by West Coast Stone back in 2016. I was wondering, how did yourself and West Coast Stone actually get connected? And of course, what's the inspiration behind that phenomenal EP?
Oh man, that's my brother right there, man. Shout out to West Coast Stone. We was chopping it up. We had been chopping it up for a minute online, and we had always wanted to kind of like tap in and get together and do something dope. Stone is a believer, man. He's got a great heart. He's a good person. And so when I hit him with the proposition, like, let's do a whole EP, I think we had done one record. He was like, man, I really enjoyed doing this. I haven't sung about, God or faith or nothing like that in a long time. And I was like, yeah, you sound good on these records. He was like, let's do EP. And I was like, that sounds like a plan. So we put that plan in motion. And the inspiration behind it, again, was just to communicate the gospel, communicate God's love for all people, and even the people in the streets. You know what I'm saying? People in the streets don't necessarily choose to be there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are dealing with the environment that they came up in, and that's just what they know. So, I have an affinity and a love for just making dope music, but with an inspiring message. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a preacher or nothing like that, but I do want to give people hope and give them something to look forward to and communicate purpose, over some dope beats.
And I gotta say as well, man, West Coast Stone is a phenomenal individual. I had the opportunity to interview him last year, and we also have another interview actually set up for April as well. So, you know what I mean? West Coast Stone, shout out to him, man. Phenomenal, talented dude.
Yeah, talented dude. Very talented, man. Plays all kind of instruments, can sing, and he got a cold ear. He's good with the mixing and the mastering, man. You're never gonna go wrong if you get you a Stone beat, for real.
Oh, most definitely. Y'all need to hit him up, because I'm telling you, he has that real West Coast beats, you know what I mean? So if you really want a West Coast vibe song, you most definitely hit up West Coast Stone.
Yeah, that's a fact.
In my personal opinion, it's right in his name, West Coast Stone, so get it or regret it in my personal opinion.
Yeah, he got that swing in that pocket, man. It's legendary for sure. Yeah, I like to give my brothers their flowers while they're here, man.
And also, man, aside from actually you doing music there for a moment, you actually did some production work as well with an individual by the name of Big June. I was wondering, how did yourself and Big June get connected? And of course, what actually made you venture into the production side of the music industry?
Well, I always been doing production, man. Actually, I was producing and mixing the stuff at an early age. Before I was even rapping, I just started rapping out of necessity, not necessity, but just I would have these beats, and I would be listening to beats to mix them down, and then I just start rapping to them. That over time just became something I was doing. But I always wrote lyrics in my notepad. I was just never considered myself a rapper. I was always a producer first. In terms of just working with the MPC, figuring out the keyboard and getting all the software, like reading and stuff as it came out. So that was always my first love, is beats and doing beats and making noise and making slaps. So hooking up with Jones, man, Jones is a good dude too, man. Shout out to Big Jones. He heard some stuff I was doing, and he was like, man, that record you had, that beat you played, I love it. So I shot it to him, and he did something to it, a friend of Migos joint, and was able to get on his the general album. It was a dope experience, man. Like I said, he's a good dude. Also a believer, also somebody who has a good heart for the people and wants to
And I got to say as well, he is also in my opinion, he is actually a San Diego legend, man, out there in the 619. So big, huge shout out to Big June.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out.
And also, man, you were actually a talent scout as well for In Groove's music group. I was wondering, how did yourself and In Groove's actually get connected? And of course, what is it like actually being a talent scout?
Oh man, I got it. Because I work with different artists and I'm a producer, and I just have different talents come to me. Develop the skills, to identify, good talent, man. And shout out to Tiffany Gaines. If you don't know who that is, or if y'all want to know who that is, y'all should look her up. She's actually an independent CEO, management. She out there killing it right now. She's got all kind of chart placements right now, and she actually grinded her way to this position in a respectful manner. Solid individual, and has a lot of keys to success. She afforded me opportunity back in I think 2017 to come on board her team and pull talent to bring on board for her one of the record labels that she was running, and they were being distributed through Ingroove. So that's how that situation came about.
And I gotta ask as well, man, because I don't know if you're still doing the whole like talent scout thing, but I do know we have a lot of independent artists that really do listen to Outlaw Radio FM. And how would individuals go about submitting their music to you if you do accept music submissions to see if they can actually get under your radar for potential scouting?
Yeah, for sure. Just the best way to do it, man, is just to email me your EPK or your electronic press kit to Don Dubb, that's DONDUBB 484 @gmail. And you know what? I'll be listening. I'll go through your EPK. I'll listen to your music. If it's something that we think we can invest in and get a deal done, we'll contact you for sure. And that's N Groups is just one of the avenues that I have access to. There's a plethora of opportunity for independent artists. I know that sometimes when you're out there grinding and you're trying to put your music together and put stuff together, you feel like it's not, but that's not the case. The Bible says you have not because you ask not. So, the more you get your stuff out there to the right people, the more they know who you are and aware of what you're doing. It's just a matter of you having the right records and the right presentation at the right time. And if those stars align, great things happen.
And also as well, man, I noticed that you were actually featured on King Risen's upcoming single Change Us. I was wondering, how did yourself and King get connected? And of course, man, like, what can our listeners expect from that project if they haven't already listened to it already?
King, his name is Risen, King Risen. I know he started with a Y, and like this King Risen, man, I actually had signed him. He was on CAMG for a minute, and he put out the album Different. He's a solid dude. That's my brother. He's got his own situation going now, and he reached back. And he was like, I want you on a record. So it's a single that's supposed to be dropping, I think, on March 5th. And you know what? What you can expect is just some dope music, man, with a dope message. There's some feel good, something to ride to, something to vibe to while you're cleaning your house or commuting to work or whatever. What you've been working out. We got that kind of music, that kind of vibe when we are on the records together.
And also, man, directly after this interview, I'm actually going to be playing one of your newest joints that actually drops September 18th with yourself, Justified, and the legendary Big to the Boy. I was wondering, man, what can our listeners actually expect from this track when I do play it to our audience if they haven't already heard it already? Like, what can they expect from this absolute fire joint?
Oh, that's a banger. It's a banger. It's a street banger. Shout out to my boys, man, Justified, my brother, and my brother, Big to the Boy, who we need to get over here as well. That record is one of them records that make you feel good. It's got a crazy bass line. The hook is dope. Everybody did their thing on the verses, drop crazy bars. It's one of them banging records that you can put on when you want some high energy. It's like you like to turn up. That's one of them records right there.
And I gotta say as well, my absolute prayers actually go out to Big to the Boy, man. Like I heard about a year or so ago, man, he actually had a terrible accident. I'm just really glad that he's still here with us, making that amazing music. So shout outs to Big to the Boy.
Yeah, shout out to Big to the Boy, man. He's doing well. I'm working with him right now on a new project. We doing this whole album from the ground up. It's called Trauma.
ask you, man, how did yourself and like Big to the Boy actually get connected? Was it just from this song, or was it just like from previous years?
You know what? He always was around. I was always aware of who he was in the city, even before I started like rapping. And one of our first big connects was on G Status album. I reached out to him, and he was like, "Send me the records." We connected, and if you listen to the G Status album, he's pretty much on. I want to say every record on there, even though it's an EP. He's on 4 out of the 5 records. So that kind of speaks to his talent and our connection and our relationship, and then we continued on from there. I worked on other records for him for albums that he had going on, and he would always contribute to stuff that I had going on willingly. And so, we just had a dope relationship as brothers. You can check us out on that single we got out called Grateful. We just always vibe together. We get together as a vibe, man. So we make great music together. So we stay connected, and just in real life, just somebody that I really admire and respect, and got a lot of respect for just as a human being.
And I gotta ask you, man, besides the new project you have coming out with Big to the Boy, what is next for the legendary Don Dubb? Is there any other projects, anything I happen to miss, anything else you still want to talk about or promote while we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Hey, look, man, I'm like a Swiss Army knife. Man, I can do a lot of different things very well, but none of them, masterful. I'm just a skilled individual, and that's not no clout or gloat or self promotion. I think I've been blessed to be able to experience a lot of things, different things early, and so I developed a lot of skills. So, you can check out a lot of my posts and support independent artists on westcoaststyles.com. That's a West Coast Styles.com is a website that promotes music and independent artists and hip hop and culture. There's a lot of dope stuff going on. You can catch live interviews, new music, behind the scenes, culture news. There's all kind of dope stuff happening over there. We're also on Clubhouse. We're getting the club going over there. And then, got my big homie, Big Sono. He's dropping an EP coming up here pretty soon that I'm helping him with. I'm mixing and mastering that. The records that he got so far is classics. Big to the Boys on that. There's a lot of other artists on there. Like I said, we got Big to the Boys album coming out that I'm mixing and mastering, and I produced some records on there called Trauma. And then I'm working on my next album, which is it's an EP series, so it'll be a volume and a volume 2. I don't have a title yet, but there's a lot of dope music that I'm working on with these same individuals that, I just like to make music for people that I love and admire because the music just comes out better. And so that's happening, man. That's what I'm doing. That's what you can look out.
Hey, man, it sounds like 2021 is most definitely the year of Don Dubb.
It's got to be. It's got to be, brother. I would have no other way.
And also, so Don, this is the time in the interview quickly before I wrap things up. Just a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to. But of course, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated everything Don Dubb if they're not already doing so.
So on Instagram, I'm heavy on Instagram, man. The real Don Dubb. You can DM me. You can follow me. I'm heavy on there. I'm active on there. I deal with a lot of people on there. There's a lot of artists on there and stuff that I communicate with. I'm on Facebook under Don Dubb. And those are the two major platforms. Clubhouse app, I'm on there as Don Dubb. It's new. And I'm on Twitter at Compton Dubb. I'm on there as well. Hit me up. Love to talk to you. I've been to Canada one time. I'm looking to come back. So y'all tap in with me.
And I gotta say, Don, thank you so much for just giving us a little bit of your time this evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. I hope down the line we can make this happen again. But for now, man, stay safe out there in California, and most definitely, man, enjoy that sunshine.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the opportunity, man. It was a blessed time. We're definitely going to do it again, brother. And, we got some other stuff that we're going to get lined up and get moving for.
Hey, man, most definitely, you know what I mean? I'm always here. Anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I appreciate you, Don.
All right. Yeah, love, brother, love.
Most definitely. Have yourself a great night.
All right, you too.